Hi everyone, this is Ishika Kesarwani and I welcome you all to the TechBit podcast. And today we are having Vishal Shah with us. He's the co-founder and CEO at Synosoft Technologies. We are so glad to have you here. Can we first start from your introduction?
Yeah, thank you, Ishika. Hello, all. My name is Vishal Shah, and I lead Synersoft Technologies. I am an old generation entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur since 1999. This is my second venture after I exited from my first venture, which I started in 1999. I am a management graduate, an engineer, and a chartered financial analyst also. And currently, I'm leading Synersoft as a co-founder, and I look after product development and technology. And we are one of the pioneers in making technologies for MSMEs. So that's it from my side, Ishika.
Amazing. Can you tell us more about Synosoft and the vision behind it?
Yeah, we founded this company in 2008, and we had a vision that Indian small and medium enterprises, will play a very vital role in our economic growth and overall development of the economy. And we all founders were from IT background, and we realized that there is a very wide gap between what SMEs require and what IT industry offers. In those days and even now, it has not changed much. IT industry developed the products, keeping in mind, an IT talent to manage it, to operate it, to maintain it. And so all those products are developed for the use of an IT talent who further translates it into business needs and aligns it with the business needs. And all these products are designed for a very large scale of usage. Most of the IT industry players in those days were developing products for large enterprises who had good budgets for IT, and MSMEs were very in a very nascent stage of adopting IT. So we realized that there is a problem. MSMEs do not have access to IT talent. One, they cannot afford IT talent. Two, IT talent does not aspire to work with MSMEs. They want to work with large IT companies so that they can put their knowledge to better use. So we found that MSMEs, in case they have to adopt IT, information technology, for their operational efficiencies, for their competitiveness, they will have a challenge to invite or attract or retain IT talent. And we also visualize that these MSMEs are the backbone of our economy. They were backbone of the economy then, and they are more of it now. They are exporters, they are large enterprises. So they are exporters, they are suppliers to large enterprises. So they are also expected to have very sophisticated technology on their side, because they are competing on global standards any which way. So IT adoption was not a choice for them, and IT adoption right now is not a choice for them. It is a compulsion. They are compelled, and on the other hand, they don't have access to IT talent. So in those days, we visualized that there has to be an IT product which is so simple and affordable for MSMEs, and that does not require a very highly qualified IT talent to implement it or to maintain it. And that's how we had a vision to develop a very simple and cost effective product for MSMEs. And that's how we started the company, and we bootstrapped the company and developed the product. And I think our first customer of our hardware product was acquired in 2013-14.
Yeah, so like I see that you've been running this company for a very long time now. So like can you tell us how the scenarios were before and how it has changed? Like how tough was it to gain the company's trust, the business that you were working with, and
See,
how it
we
has changed now?
very insightful answer it can be. I'll tell you, a lot of things have changed in last 15 years. When we started in 2008, these MSMEs, were not well aware about IT, and there was no IT talent on their side. So all decisions were taken by the MSME owners, who are absolutely non-IT savvy guys in those days. In those days, internet was also not very proliferated as it is now, after geo revolution. So these people knew about cloud, somewhat, but it was impossible to use cloud given the internet connectivity in those days. And the third one was, in those days, software piracy was rampant in India. So the value of the software, the perceived value of the software was very low. So when an IT company goes to an MSME and tells them that I have something, in terms of software and hardware product, perceived value was low. Two, they did not have, a kind of understanding of how that IT can change their business operations. So it had to be very, very educational and consultative approach to convince them to buy your product. And third thing was, because internet was not there, very easily available, because these MSMEs operate from very remote areas, industrial areas, and in those days internet was not really penetrated in those areas. So something to offer on cloud technology was very difficult. Now fast forward it to today, 15 years, three things have changed. One, most of these MSMEs are now in mainstream because of GST. Now they don't work in silos, they are part of the whole stream, basically, as GST is there. So they are part of the value chain, whether they want it or not. Second is piracy. People have understood the problems with piracy, the risks and vulnerabilities piracy brings with itself, and they've understood the value of software. And that's how what product we were selling in 2013, 14, almost at three times cost, price. We are selling that product. So people have increased the perception of software value of the software. And the third thing is, of course, internet. With geo revolution, now we have fantastic bandwidths, at individual level as well as at enterprise level. So these MSMEs have also benefited, and now internet is commoditized. So that has changed, and probably the potential of our product in terms of data storage, data protection, data theft prevention is much more realized in this changed entire ecosystem. So yes, when we started, it was knocking the doors, explaining the benefits, and then selling the products, at very low cost. And now, yes, people have understood. They inquire with us. Now, digital marketing is also at help, and uh, things have changed.
Amazing. Can you tell us a bit more about the services provided and who exactly are your customers right now?
Yeah, so basically, digitization or adoption of information technology is now compulsory for every organization. So, as you do and go through digitization, all your physical assets are now digital. All your data is now your asset. So we call it as digital assets. Now, these digital assets are very easy to lose, basically. If you have files and folders in your cupboard, either a disaster can make you lose them, or maybe termite can make it lose, but not anything else. But yes, these digital assets can be very easily deleted. It can be corrupted by the ransomware. And of course, disaster can also destroy the hardware carrying those digital assets. Second thing is about this digital asset is it is very easy to leak or steal the digital assets. Your physical assets can be stolen by physical breaking in the office and taking it out in front of a lot of people. But in digital assets, you can take it on an email attachment or on a USB drive. Or so there is a whole subject of insider's threat. With all types of enterprises, including MSMEs. So these MSMEs particularly are dependent on digital assets preservation, because if they lose it, they will lose business continuity. And these MSMEs sign non-disclosure agreements with their customers where they are exchanging technology. Let's say, for example, there is an engineering auto ancillary company which is supplying parts to Volvo or Mercedes or some European company. They make them sign non-disclosure agreements. They make them sign that they will provide for the compliance, so that their technology is not stolen or leaked from those MSMEs who are using it to produce the goods. So now MSMEs are obliged and I would say obligated to basically comply with all these things. So we our product does three things. One, it is a single hardware, single product, very simple product, almost DIY. Overnight it can set up completely standard IT infrastructure. So normally in a standard IT infrastructure, you have a file server, you have a mail server, you have a firewall, you have a endpoint controller, backup system, you have domain controller, you have enterprise policy enforcement, you have device hardening. So all these things you require different products, and you need somebody to integrate it and maintain it. Here in our product, it is single hardware and it serves as all these things. Okay. So MSME does not have to buy multiple hardware, which is very cost effective because they are uh, buying only single hardware and single software they have to manage. So it is not complex, but it serves all these services. So that is called IT standardization. So the first thing our product does is IT standardization for them. So they comply with most of the IT expectations from their customers. Second is it is a very robust data storage, data backup, data preservation system. So they don't lose the data because of deletion, because of ransomware, or because of disaster. And I'll give you an example. In last 10 days, there was flood in Ahmedabad, and many offices were flooded, and many of our products were probably impacted because of the flood. But they did not lose their data because they could easily recover the data. And the third very important point is about data leakage or data theft prevention. I mean, that is pertaining to insider threats. In MSMEs, people take away data and exploit the company competitively. They can be held liable for breaching the non-disclosure agreements if data is leaked from their office. And with with the proposed law, which is personal data privacy law, after that, MSMEs will also be the custodian of the data. Example, there is a stockbroker who has all personal details of his customers, including signature specimen also. And if that data is leaked, it can be grossly misused and it can impact the consumer. So as things are happening, they are more concerned and cautious about data theft from their own organization through insider threats. And our product does this third thing: it prevents the data leakage on internet or on attachments, email attachments, or on USB drive. So these are the three things our product does. This black box does these three things: IT standardization, data loss prevention, and data leakage prevention.
Amazing. So I kind of had this one personal question that I really wanted to ask you, and that is that you have done so much. Like you have done chemical engineering, then computer science, and then CA, and then marketing, and then also photography. So like, what exactly was your initial spark to do so much, and how were you able to pull it off along with your work, along with your job?
See,
And
in our days, when I graduated, almost what, 28, sorry, 20, I think 94. So almost 28 years back, when I graduated, we did not have a luxury of selecting our careers, So, I had an option to go into the medicine and engineering. And in our days, we did not have such counseling also available. So at your marks, whatever best stream you get, you take it, So of course, because I had seen pile of books on the table of my cousin brother who was doing his medicine, I was surely not interested in that much of, I would say, hard work. So I selected chemical engineering. I was interested in sports and I did not want to give up my sports, so I did chemical engineering. At the end of the fourth year, I realized that it was not meant for me. And then I thought that I was good at I identified my strength as converting something on automation mode, and then I studied things myself, computers. And after that, I took formal education in computers. And after doing that, I realized that it is not enough. You need to know how to do business also. And I belong to a Gujarati family, so Gujaratis are more inclined toward business. At least they try it once in their lifetime. So I did that. So I worked for so many years, and then after that, in '99, I started my company, and that required me. I mean, that idea was about developing risk management system for Indian stock markets. In those days, Indian stock markets were getting digitized, and futures and options was just introduced. Nobody knew about all these things. So I thought, let me do CFA. So I acquired that knowledge, and that really helped me. I acquired that knowledge, and that was put to use in my company's product. Risk management product, and that was acquired in 2006 7. And yes, I believe that there has to be a balance in your work life and personal life. If you are passionate about the work, you should be passionate about something personal also. You cannot be passionate about only your work, because you have people around you, who look up to you, and you cannot just disappoint them. So I made sure that I travel a lot with my kids family. We do a lot of long, very long, 3 weeks, 4 weeks road trips, every year. But yes, doing a lot of things does not mean that I'm doing it. I think I'm a good delegator. So and I am blessed, by the nature, with very good people on my side. So I delegate things to them. They do their best, and that keeps me being creative, and of course, balancing my work life balance.
That is amazing. I guess with this, we can wrap up today's session. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us and sharing your journey. And to all the listeners, thank you for joining and stay tuned because we are going to come up with many more videos like this. Stay tuned.
Thank you, Ishika. Thank you very much.